let's get into this Jimmy trade. So obviously, it has been complete chaos with Jimmy Butler for the last what? It's been the last 2 months, last month and a half.
Yeah,
No, that was
basically.
in December. That was in December. So it's been about a
Mhm,
month and a half. He's obviously was suspended. He came back,
mhm.
got suspended again indefinitely. Him and Pat Riley, they've been at a stalemate for a very long time. Now, finally, Jimmy Butler has been shipped out of Miami, and he's going to the West Coast. He's coming to California. How y'all feel about Jimmy Butler linking up with Draymond Green and Stephen Curry?
I mean, I don't
I
think
think
this
that's
pushes them over the top. I mean, I don't think this pushes them over the top in the Western Conference. I think that this trade was more for Jimmy. It was more about getting paid. That's all he really wanted to do was get paid. And if he wins in the process, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, I feel like you've gotten everything that you're gonna get out of Jimmy Butler at this point. The 4 years, 4.5 years that he was in Miami. I mean, you got all of the things that you were going to get from him being an all-pro, being an all-league defender, making it to the NBA championship twice. I think you got everything that you were going to get these last couple of years, because I don't think Jimmy Butler's going to be around at 38, 39 years old. So he wanted to get paid. What I didn't understand initially, but it made sense later on when I thought about it, I was thinking to myself, well, I know what a contract extension is. It's an extension of the existing contract. So why did he opt out of his player option? And I'm thinking, wait a minute, that's $52 million that he's leaving on the table. He's already going to get the contract extension, but I think the opt out was contingent on him getting the extension. So I mean, I think that's what it is. I mean, if I'm wrong, guys, you can straighten me out, but I think that that's what it was. But I think that Golden State, they now have a secondary scorer, and he does help with some. He does help in some areas like that. But other than that, I mean, I don't think this really moves the needle for them in the Western Conference. I think that they're a play-in team at best, and I think they're a first-round exit.
Let me go ahead and highlight all the trade details so you guys know exactly what happened out there. This is what happened in the trade. The Warriors obviously got Jimmy Butler. The Heat got Andrew Wiggins, PJ Tucker, and Kyle Anderson and a 2025 first round pick. That's top 10 protected. Dennis Schroeder got looped to the Utah Jazz, and Josh Richardson and Lindy Waters III are going to the Detroit Pistons.
Mm,
Mars,
sure.
how do you feel about this?
Feel like Dennis Schroeder saying the trade deadline is like slavery and then getting sent to Utah is ironic.
that's
Um,
hilarious.
um, that's my biggest takeaway from the trade. Um, I think the Heat did well to take off what 20 million away from what Jimmy was making compared to Andrew Wiggins.
Mhm.
Andrew Wiggins, I think, will be good for them as another point of attack, well, wing matchup defender. Um, can play off the ball, play on the ball. I think that's cool. I think Jimmy Butler does. He makes the Warriors better, I guess, but they don't. They're not going to do anything. But they were desperate. I think the whole league knew they were desperate. They tried to get KD that I didn't want. They tried to get everyone, and I think Jimmy was the last person they could get. And the only way they could get him is if they offered him an extra year on top of what he already had. So the Warriors made a desperation move because they were desperate, and that's all it really is to me, just a desperation move.
Mm.
That's not going to work, but you can commend them for trying. I guess that's as far as I've really got when it comes to the
Mars, I
trade.
heard something today. Is Jimmy Butler a better defender today than Andrew Wiggins?
Yes, he's
Still?
better. He's better at like everything
I
besides
think he's a better
shooting.
player. I won't argue that, but a better defender today at 35 years
Yes,
old than Andrew Wiggins?
yes.
Wow.
I mean Wiggins is a better on ball matchup defender. Jimmy's better at like everything else. So if you value on ball defense, which is what the Warriors are losing, so like, I don't like the idea that it's like if you think Jimmy's a better defender than Andrew Wiggins, that doesn't mean the Warriors defense improved because they added Jimmy. Because what they needed, what Wiggins was their point of attack primary defender. Jimmy's
Sure.
not that. So you're losing that and replacing it with Jimmy, who's a great team defender, passing lanes, he can play weak side, all of those things. He's amazing at that. But now you've lost your point of attack defender, and you have no one else who can do that. So I think their defense is going to get worse, but not because Jimmy is a worse defender than Wiggins.
Right.
I just think what he brings is redundant compared to what Wiggins was for them.
Mhm.
But I do think he's a better defender than Andrew Wiggins is, and I think he's just a better player. And I think offensively, you'll see the biggest difference between Wiggins and Jimmy. But the offense is still going to be flawed. I don't think the I don't think the Warriors are going to do anything. If Ron's next question is going to be, what can the Warriors do in the playoffs? If they make it, they lose to whoever they play. That's as far as I've got. The biggest news isn't even a trade; it's the fact that Chet's back tomorrow. But like, we can get to that whenever the time.
Chet is coming back. Yes, he is.
That's the biggest news that I've heard in the last 12 hours or so.
So that trumps every trade?
Yes, it trumps Jimmy to Golden State. It trumps Brandon Ingram to Toronto. It trumps
Definitely trumps that one.
Kuzma to the Bucks, Mark Williams to the Lakers. Chet is back. We're going to see Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein for the first time since preseason. That's the biggest news I've heard in the last 12 hours.
All right, Swiper. How you feel about the West Coast getting stronger with the Warriors adding Jimmy Butler?
Well, I mean, I feel like I'm probably higher on Jimmy Butler than most of the public. I really like Jimmy. I think he's been kind of just sleepwalking through the year for the most part. He's still been super efficient as a scorer. I also agree with Mars. I think that Jimmy Butler, when he is like he's trying, he's one of the 10 best wing defenders in the sport, which, you know, when you're getting that kind of scoring in a playoff pop from Jimmy, like, you know, I think he's a top 10 player at his apex when he's like really locked in. I don't know at 35 years old if he's that, but look, I asked it on Twitter yesterday. I was, you know, just say Mars, there's a reality, right? Where, because the Warriors obviously already beat OKC, you know, in the regular season, but that doesn't mean anything. But let's just say like they get into the play-in situation, they get to the A seed, and Jimmy Butler, let's say he turns the clock back to 23. He feels healthy. His ankles are good. Mentally, he feels good. He's got his money now. Draymond's there to be a true anchor defensively. He's even in Ox. Draymond's an even better defensive anchor for Jimmy than Bam was, because Draymond obviously is just a next level kind of defender, especially with his IQ. And then on top of that, they got Kuminga still. They got Pod still. They still have a really strong
Looney still over there.
Yeah,
they didn't give up nothing. They didn't give up no crazy pieces. They still got Buddy Hield if he can remember how to shoot.
Yeah, well, I'm saying
he didn't forget how to shoot, Ron. He can still do that.
I hate to step in and interrupt this intense yap session that you're currently watching, but I just have to inform you on all the amazing, spectacular, fabulous, endless ways to play and win over at Prize Picks. Basketball fans, I know the season is just tipping off. Yes, I know this. But you know what that means? It means that you have an opportunity to pick your favorite players and their matchups that are the most thrilling, and you can win money from these. With Prize Picks, you can play daily NBA contests and test your hoop knowledge by choosing the player projections and every single stat line imaginable to make your Prize Picks and take home some nice hard-earned cash. Are you a rookie in the game? Don't even sweat it. I got the playbook for you right here. All you have to do is download Prize Picks, use promo code PANEL, and you will get $50 instantly when you play 5 here with Prize Picks. So what are you waiting for? Download Prize Picks, use promo code PANEL, and join me as we break down all of our amazing daily picks right here on the panel. Prize Picks. Run your game, control your game, win your game. It's easy, baby. It's easy.
Yeah, it's just,
you know I'm the lowest on Buddy Hield up here. My bad. Go ahead.
Right.
My bad.
Only problem is, can he still do that? That's the $1 million question. But go ahead.
He can.
Yeah. Again, whoever. Yeah, I think he's at a 63 true shooting this year, y'all. Like, I think that's a surprising number if I remember. So I think this is the thing, man. Like, Joe, if you told me that Jimmy's healthy in a playoff series and Steph Curry is playing like he's been, Steph Curry's had a sleeper season this year because the team's been so bad around him, but he's been pretty good when the team winning when he's on the court this year. I think they could do a legit push versus OKC. They wouldn't beat them more than likely, but obviously it's going to take a supernatural. Like if they had to play in the first round, I'm saying if they made it to play in and they were the A seed, they would be able to put up a fight now with Jimmy. But before that, no, like 100% no.
Right.
But I really like Jimmy's addition. Like I don't think and also too, because of the nature of the contract, let's say the next year this rest of the year he has a good finish to the year. Next year he's having an all NBA start like he did in 22, you know, which is like 21 a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals a block, super efficient. And let's say he's kind of doing his normal thing because of the nature of his contract. Like they could flip that again if they wanted to, and say, you know, if they wanted to upgrade or whatever. I like the short-term deal that he got. in age 36, 37. You give Steph Curry another star to play with, and then you just kind of see what happens with it. But it probably doesn't raise their ceiling, Ox, to like they're not like in my top 4 in the Western Conference or anything like that.
Right.
But their ceiling is way higher now.
But see, that's the thing, Swiper. Is it my turn? Can I go around?
Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
Have something else? Okay, yeah. I'm with you, Swiper. I've always liked Jimmy Butler, been high on his ability to ball out when it's playoff time. And I'm also one of the guys that feel like if you give Steph Curry a competent basketball team, I'm never putting my money against him. You know what I mean? So while I don't think they're winning the championship this year, I think this move was major for them. And I think Jimmy Butler is better than Andrew Wiggins in the same places that Mars explained. I think the offense is going to look much better. I think Jimmy Butler can exploit that mid-range a little better than Andrew Wiggins. I'm excited to see what the Warriors can do. Once again, I don't think they're championship contenders, but I do feel like you just can't count them all the way out. And mind you, the deadline's not all the way done yet. So we'll see what else if they can do anything else. Man, I'm look out for them. Look out for the Warriors.
They have a similar offense when they was running it. That's why I didn't understand why Miami's offense was as bad as it was, because they ran a similar offense like in years when the Miami Heat were at the top of the league, when they had Bam, when they had Jimmy, when they had Hero, when they were going to the NBA Finals, and they were going to the Eastern Conference Finals. They ran a similar offense to what was going on with the Golden State Warriors. So Jimmy should fit in well with this offense. This is not an offense where one guy gets the ball and he's just holding the basketball. He's familiar with ball movement, people movement, and action. So he is familiar with that. The question is can Jimmy Butler stretch the defense in this kind of offense? Because sure, he can knock down mid-range shots. I think that they're going to need him to stretch the defense a little bit more. Jimmy can knock down the long ball. I won't argue that. But can he consistently knock down the long ball, which is what they're going to need in this type of offense? Because Curry is going to need a secondary scorer. Because we've all seen once Curry gets going and nobody else gets going, and he's basically left to do it himself. Now, to get a guy like Jimmy Butler on the roster, can Jimmy Butler consistently give them buckets? Because remember, Ron, he hasn't been playing consistently all season. So it's not like he's just going to jump on this Golden State Warriors roster and he's just going to be the Jimmy Butler of old. I mean, he's been hurt.
Well, a lot of these games, chill. A lot of these games just been suspensions. He's been. I mean, at least for this last month or so, he's been able to play. It's been suspensions. I think Jimmy Butler comes to the Bay and plays. I think he's good to go. I don't think that there shouldn't be any hindrances in that. And as far as a secondary scorer, chill, I think Jimmy is that.
Yeah. Also too, and I think we all can agree on that, Ox. Jimmy is probably best suited as a 2 rather than a 1. And he was a good 1 in Miami, but Jimmy as a 2, I think that opens him up fully, his potential. It allows him to fully be Jimmy Butler. But the Warriors have a little bit of ground to make up. Right now, they are the 10th seed, but they're actually tied with Sacramento and the Phoenix Suns at 25 and 24. So the sooner Jimmy can get in, get acclimated, and they can start winning games, that's the highest they may be able to rise in the standings. But they still have some ground to make up to at least get out of the play-in.
I know it sounds ridiculous, Ron. I mean, they three games out the 6th spot. 3. That's it.
Damn, that's crazy.
It. They 3 games out the 6th spot. That's it.
How many games left, y'all? 30, like 30, 37, 36 games?
Something like that.
That's enough time. And again, let's just say now motivated Jimmy, Dre's there, Steph is there. I mean, I can see it happening for sure. 100%.
Here's the difference, though, Ox, though.
Well, I was just going to say the biggest thing is that, they gave up Kyle Anderson, Dennis Schroeder. And I mean, they gave up Wiggins, but obviously you get that right back you get that right back with Jimmy Butler. But they didn't give up nothing else. They still have all their young players. They could still make a move.
Well, they are. They're still prepping to make one. They're looking for a shooting big like Vooch, apparently is the word.
Are they going to be able to make a move in the next few hours, or do they have to wait to the offseason?
They're trying to.
Okay.
Yes, as long as it's not dealing with this, you can trade as many guys as long as you ain't dealing with the same guy. So, like, if I got traded, and then you could get traded, Ox, and then Moss. I mean, that's not a big deal at all.
But I only say that because I'm talking about a bigger move. I'm thinking Lauri marketing, so I'm just like, I know.
Lowry can't be traded because he recently signed his extension
until the offseason.
Yeah, I think Lowry has to wait till the
Okay,
offseason.
right.
Yeah.
I would wait and deal with Danny Ainge. Chill. I know how much you are against dealing with Danny Ainge. I'll wait and just.
I'm definitely not calling him back now. Hell no. After what the Lakers just did, hell no, I ain't calling Danny Ainge because I know he already got fleeced. Right? Danny Ainge just got fleeced with the Lakers. He didn't even know what was going on.
No,
so now
Danny
you gonna
Ainge,
call him up?
he's still on business about Walker Kessler though.
What do you mean?
That deal that the
He
Lakers
ain't get fleeced. He wanted Jalen Hood-Schifino and them 2 picks.
Okay, sure. Let's just say for the sake of argument, that's true, Mars. I do want this car. I don't want you to benefit from it though. Not you. Hell no. I'll buy it. 100% I'll buy it. I might even take more than it's worth, but I'm not doing it at the expense of you benefiting from it. Hell no. In fact, I'll leave this car to rot right here before I let you benefit from it. Hell no.
When Jalen Hood-Schifino is better than Luka, Danny Ainge gonna be laughing. That's what.
Yeah, we'll definitely see about that. Yeah, we will.
It's a couple other things, and Penn, I'm gonna highlight these things, and then I'm gonna give you the floor to talk about this trade. But it's a couple things that I do want to mention. That is the most glaring part about this trade, actually. Now, Jimmy Butler, he didn't want to go anywhere where he couldn't get paid. Well, he got traded to the Warriors, and his wish came true. He got paid. But not only did he get paid, Jimmy Butler is going to be the second highest paid player in the NBA next year. He signed an extension that will be 2 years, $121 million, which will keep him with the Warriors through the 26-27 season.
Is he behind Anthony Davis next year?
No.
I was going to ask if it was Jaylen
No,
Brown.
yeah, it's Jaylen Brown.
It's JB. Okay.
See, that's
so. Well, when do AD and Dame get their contracts kick in?
Well, I feel like it has to kick in next year for. Yeah, Jimmy's getting 54, then 58. Let me see what Anthony Davis' contract kicks
NBA
in.
money different, man. Damn.
Different.
And the crazy thing about that, Mars, it was different a while ago. Now it's just crazy.
Yeah, it kicks in next year. Oxy getting Anthony Davis getting 54, 58, and then 62.7. So Anthony Davis got probably one more 70 a year deal in his bag, probably a 2-year or 3-year at the end of that. But he has a player
Jimmy
option.
Butler getting that? Yes, 100% he does.
Oh yeah.
AD get a champion. He gets to the finals next 2 years, man. I'm telling you, AD, that's the story will be rewritten about him, but that's another story, bro.
Penn, talk to me about this move and what it means for the Warriors or the Heat.
Well, I think for the Heat, you get depth, you get pieces that fit into Heat culture, right? And you get Andrew Wiggins. I mean, hopefully Andrew Wiggins can be one of those Heat success stories. You know what I mean? Like just a player who comes in and just is unlocked to a new level. I hope it's good for him. With Jimmy, my first concern with this was, Jimmy didn't go where he wanted to go. Is he going to be happy? Well, turns out he signed the deal, so he's going to be happy. So I think the Warriors get the best thing they could have gotten. So it's really a win-win for both sides. That's where I'm at with it.
Okay. And I know there's something else that you want to get into, right?
We don't have to get into it right now. I mean, we can give this what it is because Jimmy Butler is a damn good player.
Yes,
and
he
I feel like, unfortunately, I think sometimes the coverage around a player can become very distorted and very bearish, right? Like because they're having a scandal or they're being suspended or they're injured, they're coming off an injury, whatever. And just because we talk about these players so much, I feel like the way we're talking about Jimmy Butler right now is not like a player who deserves this contract, not like a player who deserves his status as legit, as Swiper said, one of the top 10 players in the league, potentially top 20 players in the league at his apex. And I think that when you make a move at the trade deadline, it really does matter how smart the player is who's coming in, who can pick up all your schemes and really just blend with people. And Jimmy strikes me as the type of player who's going to blend on day 2, if not day 1. So it really does matter. You're trying to retool this roster on the fly. You're trying to implement a whole bunch of pieces. You don't have a lot of runway. It's not like you have a lot of cushion with the schedule and your record. You have to start winning right now. You have to go right now, and you can't afford a 3-game losing streak while you try to implement Jimmy. Like you gotta perform right away. And it's trying
to work. Sure.
I mean, like I love Chill's analogy yesterday about Kawhi Leonard and buying on him because he doesn't want to ever I was laughing my ass off when I heard you say that afterwards. I think this is akin to trying to get into a moving car for Jimmy Butler. And the moving car is going the wrong way. And you got to get in real quick and turn the direction and make sure all the passengers are safe. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
And you got a little bit of time to do it. And you got the road is running out too, Penn. Like it's not like, you got a bunch of road down in front of you. No, the road is running out. So you got to get in this car and you got to get in it quick and you got to change the direction because you don't have a lot of time because the road is running out and you're going to fall off a cliff.
And absolutely. And then you got Draymond Green in the back seat. He's right there. And if you mess this up,
go this way, go that way, go this way, go that way, go this way.
He's going to knock your lights out. So, this could be very, very, it's a very boom or bust situation. Like it really could be like terrible. Like this could fall apart so fast. Like there's a huge risk reward here, but damn that reward, right? And it's like if you really wanted to put like the best player you could around Steph Curry to compete for 2 more years, you did the best you could for sure.
Yeah, but you're not gonna worry about him getting his lights knocked out though. Draymond,
that's for sure.
No, Jimmy is with all the smoke. 100% he is, Ox. He's not with none of that nonsense. But I think the Miami Heat, number one, Andrew Wiggins is the same age as Jimmy Butler was when they got him. That's number one. Number two, I think they're changing the dynamic of that team. So you got Khalil Ware and Bam. So you got your front court. You got you got Andrew Wiggins at the 3. I'm a big fan of Jaime Jaquez, but I'd rather go with Andrew Wiggins at this point. You got Hero at the 2. Now you need a lead guard. Once you get a lead guard in there, and I know this may sound ridiculous to some of you guys, would you call up the Brooklyn Nets and ask for Ben Simmons?
If you're the Warriors,
I thought you were going to say
if you are the Miami Heat, would you call up the Brooklyn Nets and ask for Ben Simmons? Don't forget
Andrew Wiggins.
Now remember this now, Swiper. Remember this. Okay, number one, Ben Simmons comes off the books after this season, so it's not like this is
if I can give up Terry Rozier,
yes,
no
that's
one
the
else,
idea.
sure, yeah, no problem.
That's the idea. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I get my defensive front court and my defender in the back court and my playmaker that I'm looking for, and then I can move forward with that. I don't really have I got floor spaces like Duncan Robinson is a floor spacer, right? I feel like Duncan Robinson is a floor spacer. He can knock down some shots, but I'm gonna win. I'm gonna go as far as I can go on defense with this crew. I'm gonna take advantage of the strengths that I have with Bam, Khalil Ware being the rim protector that he is. Ben Simmons can still play. He was right in that aspect. He can still play. I mean, is he still all league Ben Simmons? No, I don't think so. But he can still play. And him on this crew, I think that I feel like you highlight a lot of the stuff that you're good at in terms of being a defender, in terms of being a rebounding team, in terms of speeding the game up, defense to get offense on defense.
I would rather go for Anthony Simons. I would go completely the other way.
I could see that. I thought you were talking about the Warriors. I would go for Cam Thomas.
Well, if the Miami Heat would go for Anthony Simons right now, I think they provide themselves a lot of spacing to make this whole Bam Adebayo thing work. I mean, it could blow up in their face, but they could unlock something too. And I think for Portland it'd be great because I mean it's already been a hell of a 4 days. The number of names that have moved, damn. This is an all-time deadline.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys gon' get it started. The player choice way. Yeah, the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.